It seems to be. I thought we had a good morning with meetings. Today, everybody was on time and went through breakfast, and we had our meetings, and they seem to be kind of chipper. So I'm pretty excited about that, and hopefully, they'll continue to acclimate to the time zone. Well, probably the biggest difference right now is the weather. The turf's a little bit wet right now. I kind of walked by it a little bit. But I think the guys, are pretty set for it. And one of the things that we have talked about all week is trying to make this as normal a Friday as possible. We'll go through all of our regular Friday routine. This is situational football day for us, so we'll practice it as normal as we can. And once we finish up, we'll head back to the hotel. That's kind of it, Last year, what was it, 12 out of 17 or something like that? But, we'll make do. I think our guys are focused in on what the task at hand is. And, we came down to continue our preparation as we get ready for Sunday's game. But, we wanted to, try and keep today as similar to our regular routine as possible, obviously with the exception of being here in the UK. Yeah, Eric should get some snaps in today. I mean, with the wet turf, we're going to have to be careful with a few guys, just making sure, their footing is good. But, Eric should be out on the practice field and ready to roll.
What's the need for McCaffrey's?
Christian's fine. I mean, if we had practiced yesterday, he would have participated, and we expect him to participate today. He's gotten his treatments and stuff like he's supposed to, and he just seems ready to roll. So we're pretty excited about getting everybody out on the football field today. I think it was, Joe. I think it was. He didn't complain about it until afterwards, and so if he had done it during that, we wouldn't have known until he told us. But he's gotten treatment. He's taken care of himself, and I know our trainers have been real diligent with him. So, as I said, though, I believe if he had to yesterday, he would have participated.
Regardless of Christian's status, North said earlier this week that Reggie has.
Yes. I believe he has, and I know in Norv's eyes, he's pretty excited about some things that Reggie has done. I mean, Reggie's done nothing, and I told you guys this the other day, he's done nothing but improve. He works very hard at his craft, and because he takes the extra time to do those things, it's starting to show. And he's one of those guys that the more football he plays, I think the more improvement he'll make. So it was good to see him get the opportunity last Sunday. It was good to see him take advantage of it. And, to have Norv speak of him like that just shows you he is confident. So, don't be surprised if Reggie does get a few more opportunities and touches. Because we talked about it. I've tried to get them to understand that, both teams have to come over here. So there's no reason for you not to feel that, you've got a great experience in front of you. I've told them to focus, and I use a friend of mine saying, and that is be where your feet are. So wherever you are, focus in on where you are 100%. When you're on the practice field, when you're in the meeting rooms, when you're on the game field, be where you are. And then when you're not, with your family, your friends, you're about town, enjoy that. I mean, because it's a great experience, and for some of these guys, it might be a once-in-a-lifetime experience. And it's been terrific. It really has. I got an opportunity to go out about town last night and just meet a lot of the folks, and what a great experience. I mean, the people here in the UK, the people here in London have been very warm, and it's been a neat experience so far.
Ron, I know the FA is recognized a little bit here. What are the players you noticed that local people are recognizing?
Well, Christian has been very recognizable, and it's kind of interesting because once some of the folks have found out he's the guy that flipped, they flip about it. I mean, it's been kind of cool to see the response for that. Luke has been very recognizable. Obviously FA. I think they do recognize some of our guys just by their size, and it's kind of interesting to see when there's 3 or 4 of them walking down the street and you see the folks turn and look at them, kind of like, oh, they must be American footballers. So it's kind of nice, and I think our guys appreciate it. There's a whole group of them that just seem to have been enjoying themselves so far.
Will you work your special teams unit outside on the field today? Or
yes. No, they're actually out there right now working on their snaps, their holds, and their kicks. So it is a good little time for those guys to kind of get used to the turf. The stadium has a hole in the middle of it, so the weather will potentially affect parts of the field. So we wanted to get them out, so they came in early with us. And they're, like I said, right now, they're out there working on it.
Ron, the Panthers are one of the last teams to come over here in this current series. Were there opportunities before, and was David Tepper a little more open to it?
There may have been opportunities before, and again, it was a decision. Excuse me, it was a decision made, not to, I guess. But Mr. Tepper most certainly was open to it. And I think now with the push that the league seems to be making for some global recognition and for this sport, of not just having it play the United States, played in the UK, but the potential for it to grow, I think, is there. And I think the popularity of the Super Bowl kind of shows that there is a desire for this to become a global game, which I think would be really cool. I mean, it's a tremendous game. It's been a really good experience. Back in the day, I had the fortune of playing in Berlin and Gothenburg, Sweden, and got an opportunity to play or coach in Ireland. So it's kind of neat to get an opportunity to go overseas and get exposed to different countries, different cultures, and kind of see the impact football's making. And this was way back when I played, so that was some 25 years ago.
Ron, given that you're one of the last teams to come across, did you take the opportunity to speak to other teams about their preparation?
Yes, we did, and and it's interesting. We're doing what we're doing. We just feel that Friday is such an important practice day for us. I just didn't want to kind of treat it as, hurry up and move everything up and get it over with. I wanted to make sure we had time to focus in on work on that aspect of our game, because to us, our Friday is our situational football day. So having, talked to some of the other teams, that's kind of what we felt would be the best situation for us.
Ron, who were those teams that did the Wednesday?
There's only one other team that did that, and that was Seattle, and they won. And so having learned that, I just thought, maybe there's something to it. So, we done. I mean, I've been part of it. I was part of a team that came over and spent the week, and I've been part of a team that came over and, went over early. I mean, not early, late. So it's just kind of one of those things that you look at and try to find a little bit of an edge. And we feel this might give us an opportunity.
Can you talk about on both sides of the ball what Tampa does well that you guys are going to have to prepare for this Sunday?
Well, one thing they do is we know Tampa rushes the passer well. They've got an aggressive front seven, but also the big thing they do is they're an attacking, aggressive style of defense. I think a lot of it is a reflection of their defensive signal caller. I think he's always been an aggressive blitzer, so we've got to be able to handle that. On the offensive side, they throw the vertical pass as well as anybody. They've got a good complement of receivers and tight ends that can get vertical, and they do run the ball. I mean, they're an aggressive football team on both sides of the ball. And then special teams, you got to be careful. They've got a veteran special teams coach who's been in the league a long time and has been in our division a long time. So, our work is cut out for us on Sunday.
On the vertical threats, do you guys know right now, does it look like we have Dante Jackson back there?
Yes, Dante practiced yesterday, practiced the day before. You guys will get the medical report after practice, who'll be available and all that. But he's had a good couple of days. He's one of the guys I talked about that we're going to have to be smart with him. We'll get him out there moving around, but we don't, with this wet turf, we don't want him to take a chance on slipping or anything like that. So we'll be smart with him during practice. Probably Eric Reed will be another guy, and Christian might be another guy that may come up as limited, but that's only because of the turf, not because they're limited in their ability to play right now.
Let's talk a little bit about the global recognition of the game. Over your time as a Panthers coach, what have you seen as far as recognition of the Panthers themselves and the brand and the team grow as they go through?
Well, what's funny is that's one of the things that Stephanie and I talked about when we first got to Charlotte was where were all the jerseys? We were coming from San Diego, from Chicago, from Philadelphia, where, the teams were so entrenched in the community. And remember at the time when I got there, I think the team was only 16, 17 years old. And now when you're there, you get to see our guys' jerseys being worn by everybody. I mean, you really do. And I think our guys have done such a great job of building, our brand, their brand in our community, that you do see the growth. You do see the recognition. I mean, it's really cool for our guys. I mean, it's one of those things where, you see the kids wearing their favorites. You even see the soccer moms wearing their favorites. So I think our guys have done a great job of building our brand in our city. And I do think, some of the things that Mr. Tepper has done to try and increase our visibility has truly helped. It doesn't hurt that we were Amazon Prime's team last year. It did hurt, but that's a different story. But they were, that really did help our recognition. And I think it's also part of the reason, Mr. Tepper wanted to do it was to increase our visibility. And also not just our visibility in the United States, but, globally. And I think it has helped. I was on vacation this summer and we were in Italy, and this German couple came up to me and said, "Hey, I recognize you. You're the Panthers coach." And so it's kind of cool. I really do. I think that this game is truly growing, and it's growing, not just in the United States, but I think it is growing globally. Yes, we will go there tomorrow and do our walkthrough. But I understand it's a brand new stadium. Our president comes from Manchester City. He was part of their group. So he's got a very good background in what the new stadium's like. We know it's going to be the field turf. So I think our guys are pretty excited about that as well. So it's and we also understand it's a stadium where the fans are right there. So that'll be another thing that'll be a little different. So our guys will get an opportunity to take a look at the sight lines tomorrow when we do our walkthrough.
Lessons that you guys took from the last previous very massive road trip that you had in 2016? Any lessons you took from that experience?
Yes. Probably the biggest thing was to try to keep the guys as occupied as possible, but try to make everything seem as normal as possible. And that's really what we've tried to stress. I mean, we had some things get in the way in 2016, and falls on me because now having a chance to look back at it, there are some things that we most certainly did change, and with the intent of trying to keep it as normal as possible.
Thank you for with the success of hometown heroes like FA or Panthers, do you think the NFL will look closer at European athletes?
Yes, very much so. It's interesting because, as you look at it and you look at a young man like F.A. and the success he's had playing American football, a lot of it is because he doesn't have any bad habits. So everything that he's learning and growing and becoming is a lot of those things are first time. And so as you watch his practice, you break down the way he practices. When he makes a mistake, it's like for the first time. He doesn't make a lot of repetitive mistakes because of not having bad habits. So as you see him have success, it's because he's learning to do things the right way. I think as far as the European athletes are concerned, there's a whole new pool of athletes that are out there that we have to seriously take a look at, whether they play soccer, they play rugby, or I should say European football. These guys are tremendous athletes, and the league most certainly is looking at it. And the league does have a program right now to bring foreign athletes into the mix, into the fold.
A couple more guys. To go back to the idea of building a brand, you mentioned all the things that Tepper can do as far as marketing and Amazon Prime, and so forth and so on. How much does winning contribute to that?
Oh, very much so. I mean, and again, if you talk to our folks, you can go back to our 2013 season and how it all translated into sales. And I mean, I know that's a big part of it. And if you look at what we did in 2014, we had that lull in the middle, but and then we started to roll and got into the playoffs. What happened at the end of December, what happened in January and February, and then we carried it right into 2015. So yeah, winning is a huge part of it. And when you have success, it kind of filters down to everybody. So it works hand in hand too, because sometimes when you're down, that part of it has to be able to still bring fans in, and that's what the Amazon Prime did for us. And I think it also brought some people saying, wow, okay, I get it. They went through some real hard times. They had their quarterback get hurt and try to fight through it. So as you look at, what each side does for one another, it's important. And I think winning, though, is the key. Everything you do has to be geared towards one goal. You have to have the same vision, and that is to win the Super Bowl. And if you do that, if you put yourself in that position and you roll through it, you're going to have success on and off the field.
When you look at the film from week 2, how big a difference was your pass rush then
I think there's a huge difference, and I think, again, and I've talked about this before, is that you now have a group of guys that have played together. They have a feel for one another. I mean, and we also have Bruce Irvin back on the field. Bruce brings a little different attitude. Here's a very experienced guy that's had a lot of success in this league, and the young guys just gravitate towards him. It was interesting because I've watched, our young outside linebackers, be around Bruce, be around Mario, and I see them also now understanding that they've got to learn to work with the DTs, because when you watch Bruce talks, he talks to Gerald and he talks to Don Terry and Kyle, and Vernon. When you see those guys understanding, hey, I've got to go talk to them. Yesterday, coming off the practice field, I was watching Brian and Don Terry talk about an up and under move, stuff like that. Those are the things that, when you see these guys start communicating what they're doing and working on, then you feel like you're growing and they're getting better and you're having success. So I think that's really cool because, now going into our 6th game, they're facing a different group of guys up front. So I'm kind of excited about that.
We gotta go, guys.
Cool.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.